is no different. Welcome to Football Friday. I'm your host, Chris Lee. Tonight, our showdown game of the week emanating from the 9 Dime with Hope County visiting 71st. Pat Welter will have that later on in the show. But before we get there, let's highlight some of the other big games from tonight. Let's keep it in Wake County. Apex Friendship taking on a 3-0 Athens Drive. Defense was the game in the first half. Isaiah Beardsley, averaging nearly a sack per game, gets into the backfield in a hurry, gets the sack on Brendan Patience, still scoreless late in the second quarter. Patience on the keeper, barrels his way up the gut, tumbles in for 6, and they're on the board. Patriots led 7-0 at the half. Just our look, our cameras leave, and then the two teams combine for 43 points. That's always how it happens. Apex Friendships wins. That's 34-16. All aboard! Here on Football Friday, we love to cruise over to big games that have the ability to make other ships stop and watch. One of those games tonight features 2 top 15 ranked teams in our high school OT statewide top 25 rankings. Number 5, Cardinal Gibbons, at number 15, Rolesville. So we called our captain, the beautiful Bob Holliday, to steer us, and he has the report.
Cardinal Gibbons begins with an onside kick. Braden Karras gets the football. 6 minutes later, Whit Neubauer swings it to Nick Leonard. Leonard finds the end zone. Crusaders lead. But the Ramblin' Rams of Rolesville counter with one big play after another. Number 0, Devon Thomas, finds the sideline after running through contact 56 yards. Inside handoff from the 17, no problem. Once again, Devon Thomas. You want to see a pass? Braden Atkinson looks for Jaden Alford, hits him 21 yards. And the two connect on a much longer play. Deep ball to Alford. They're not going to get him, 62 yards. And Rose will play some defense too. Big sack here by Aiden Pounds on Neubauer, wipes out a great Crusader scoring chance. Gibbons mounts a comeback late second. Neubauer gets rid of the football as he's falling down. Leonard makes a nice grab, and away Nick Leonard goes. 41-yard play. Leonard scores soon after. Crusaders keep coming. Neubauer to Aiden Smalls, and now it's 28-19. But Gibbons can get no closer. Atkinson in the red zone hits Jaden Haynes on a corner route. Then the bulldozer, Devon Thomas, pile drives 17 yards to the shadow of the goal line, setting up his own 1-yard plunge. Gibbons drives across midfield in the fourth quarter, but on fourth down, Darian Newborn gets the pass breakup. The Rams race past Cardinal Gibbons 52-32. Bob Holliday, Football Friday.
Let's go.
All right, Sanderson High School heading west to take on Cedar Ridge on the first play from scrimmage. It's a handoff to Burleson McCullers, who finds the hole, gets the wheels churning. 55 yards later, he is in the end zone. Good job for him, and he's not tired yet. Trying to build on the lead. Here's another handoff straight up the gut. This time, Busby Phillips. It's all gas. He's trying to match his homeboy from the last play. He's like, hey, if you can do it, I can do it. We got to have bragging rights on Monday. Not a handoff, but this is a pitch outside. Once again, McCullers, he's going to keep it on the outside, getting to the end zone. Sanderson, big-time win, 62-0. An all-Orange County clash, Tarboro at Chapel Hill, handoff. And the ball goes straight up the gut. Tyler McClellan puts up 6. And then we're going to see a fake handoff. It's so good that it fools our photographer. Jonah Berman completes the pass to Jeffrey Sims for yet another touchdown. Just piling on the points now after a blocked punt. Joshua Kelly keeps it, drives it through the line for the score. Chapel Hill, big time win, 58-8.
We're trying to get ready for what road we have to travel down next. You know, we go to Weddington next week, so we have to fine tune a lot of things and fix a lot of things before we get there. So our playoff run starts next week. The journey that we have to go from Weddington, then Jordan. So, you know, our playoff season starts next week.
All right, let's head down to the Bull City, Durham, North Carolina, on a night where a couple of non-Durham County teams decided to invade the area for just one night. The Wake Forest Cougars were on the prowl for some Spartans tonight. South Durham playing host to the team that's 2 spots ahead of them in the highschoolot.com 919 top 15 poll, with the Spartans looking to get past 2 heartbreaking losses against some other powerhouses. Plus, Vance County taking on Northern Durham. No bull here. The Lizard, Luis Fernandez, has the report.
Excuse me, what a run by Zabir Goggins. Vance County scoring early against Northern Durham. Javion Vines Holder calls his own number. 2-point conversion would be good as well. 8-0. Later in the second quarter, Vines Holder's going to throw it out to Ronald Rainey III on the screen. He hits the edge, and he's out of here. Vipers lead 14-0 at half. They beat Northern 35-0. Music and fog, we call this ambiance. Southern Durham hosting Wake Forest. Cougars lead 21-14. Wake Forest driving, but it's slick out there. Fumble! Christopher Isaiah Campbell recovers for Southern. Fourth quarter, same score, 3rd and long. Kayvon Simmons, a beautiful deep ball into the hands of Franklin Barrett Jr. He takes it the rest of the way, an 80-plus yard score, 27-14. Spartans respond. Watch number 22. Tyson Broadway hits Daston Moore out of the backfield. He runs away from the camera and into the end zone, 27-20. Less than 2 minutes in the fourth. Southern trailing by 7. 3rd and 15 deep in Wake Forest territory. Broadway throws it up. Intercepted by senior Solomon Young. Cougars win this one, 27-22. Luis Fernandez.
Those of us that played sports remember that one coach or two coaches that we just run through a wall for. Shout outs to Coach Chambers and Coach Coggins over at Southwest Guilford High School over in High Point. They were my wrestling coaches. They'd get us believing so much that they were able to bring out their very best. It's time to go inside the huddle with Lakewood at Midway.
All right, let's go.
Kick off, kick off.
Make it go.
Our ball, time to take control of the game. Our ball, put it in. It's a 2 points. It's a 2-score game. We're in control from that point forward. Do we understand that? Focus, focus, focus.
Lakewood, Midway. Lakewood at the Raiders 14. Rylan Godbold fakes the handoff, rolls right, finds Josiah Brunson for the touchdown. 7-0 for the Leopards. Raiders answer right back from the Lakewood 48. Trip Westbrook going up top for Kamari McNeil, runs underneath it, and he's in for the score. 8-7 for Midway. Lakewood from the Raiders 23. Godbold. He's looking at the end zone, and Shamal Little with the score, 13-8, excuse me. Midway, Westbrook to McNeil. It was a winner earlier. Let's try this once again. McNeil does most of the work, and he's going to go in for the score. Midway wins big, 32-26. Spring Creek taking on Hopton. Wildcats, Cole Weeks. Well, he's going to do something amazing right here. Check it out. Short pass to Ashad Wynn. Gets it to the right guy. He's elusive. That's why you get it to him. Turning the corner, down the sideline, cuts it back 38 yards to the 9-yard line. A couple of plays later, Daniel Aguilar from the 4-yard line. Touchdown for Hopton. No quit in the Gators, however. They're still chomping at this score. Spring Creek's Darius Deal. He's going to roll right, and look at this heave over to Carlos Jackson, who's right there for the score, but it was all Wildcats, and this one, 64-14. Are you ready for the Football Friday showdown? This week, we head down to Fayetteville, where Hope County tries to pull out a win over 71st. But could they stop the Falcons' defense? Pat Welter has the highlights. That's next.
This Football Friday showdown is presented by Wake Tech.
The rapper Drake had one of his best hits about 7 years ago called Summer 16. And in that song, he was basically telling everybody he was looking for revenge on all of his haters. Now, if I found out that the Hope County Bucks played that song all week, I would not be surprised. Last year, they lost to 71st, 35-15. This year, the Falcons are ranked 8th in our high school OT statewide top 25. But the Bucks want to knock them off their block for revenge. The pretty boy, Pat Welter, has the report from the 9 Dime for our Football Friday Showdown Game of the Week.
One street, two schools, it's the Battle of Rayford Road. Hope County making the 16-mile trip to Fayetteville to find out what they're made of this season. Meanwhile, 71st focused on the finish after losing by 1 point in the regional championship a year ago. 71st getting on the board before the Falcon fog could even settle. Second play from scrimmage, Donovan Frederick goes 40 yards for the score, 7-0 71st.
Let's go, Falcons!
Dr. George Small's defense tightened up from there. 71st finally wears them down with the QB keeper. DeAndre Nance takes the read option for 6. It's 14-0. 45 seconds to go in the half. Falcons going to the air this time. Nance deep over the middle. Great touch to Jatavius Whitted. 21-0 at the half. Third quarter, even a blueberry pina colada snow cone couldn't cool down the 71st offense. Doesn't get much sweeter than this. Nance going 90 yards for the touchdown. Now, Nance did injure his knee in the fourth quarter, but told me with some rest and some ice, he'd be all right. 71st shuts out Hope County, 38-0.
71st, my brothers red and white. We just hungry for real. We came up short last year. We just out. Prove people that we can finish.
Hey, shout out to my grandma. Grandma, I love you, Grandma. I love you, Mima.
Pat Welter, Football Friday.
You know, I would shout out my grandma, too. Every single Friday at 7 o'clock, you can tune in to High School OT Live and watch managing editor Nick Stevens and former UNC and Virginia wide receiver TJ Thorpe hosting. Nick Stevens looking really dapper right here in the Carolina Panthers throwback Steve Smith jersey. I don't know what TJ Thorpe has on. Let's forget about that. They'll show you highlights of games in progress, kind of like NFL Red Zone for high school football. It's really cool, and you can watch it on WRL Sports Plus. And you could have seen updates from this game. Wilmington battles Southern Pines, New Hanover High School at Pinecrest. Pinecrest found themselves in a red zone early on. Elijah Melton catching the pass over two defenders' heads, giving the Patriots a touchdown. That's a big-time catch. Zamir Spencer found himself in no man's land, covered. Nobody's covering him. Touched. Nobody's touching him. He's in the end zone. Then later on, Gavin Layton. He's going to take it straight to the crib because he's going to sleep very well tonight. Pinecrest on top, 35-3. Wake Christian on the road at Granville Central. Wake Christian out quickly. Quarterback Ross Burnett throws it up, finds Carter Williams for the grab. He's going to be out inside the 10. That sets up the handoff for Jake Wolf. Plows his way into the end zone to put the Bulldogs up 7-0. Wake Christian goes to the air once again. Burnett drops it in to Benjamin Thurritt for the score. Hopefully I said your name correctly. I've never seen that name before in my life, but I love it. The Bulldogs just a little bit too much on this one. Another hard-earned touchdown for Jake Wolf. Wake Christian wins big, 42-0. Riverside High School looking to come away with a road win, taking on South Granville. Picked this one up in the second half. Jaden McNeil takes it in for Granville Central to tie things at 7. Vikings not finished. Hand off. Cameron Dennison, he's going to take it out to the outside, tiptoes down the sideline, brought down just short of the goal line, tried to reach out, couldn't get it, but that set up a touchdown, 14-7 South Granville. Fourth quarter, Riverside answers. Aiden Kelly finds his receiver. We're knotted at 14. Pirates trying to break the tie. Kelly is picked off by C.J. Bacon. He sizzles his way into Riverside territory. South Granville wins in overtime, 20-14. You can't ask for a better start to the season than Leesville Road has had. The Pride came into this week at 3-0, beating their opponents by an average of 30 points per game. That's why the Pride are ranked at number 5 in our high school OT Top 15 919 rankings. Tonight they hosted the Heritage Huskies, a team that averages losing their first 3 games by 32 points per game. No doubt a down year for the Huskies, and add in Broughton and Milbrook, and you've got yourself a recipe for a great report from the Bruiser, Brett Neese.
Give me liberty or give me death, or give me some football for these patriotic fans at Milbrook High School. Milbrook already up a score early, looking to cash in for more when Broughton's Davis Bull rocks John Allerton, who loses the ball. Ben Horton comes up with it, and the Caps take over. Broughton wouldn't get very far before having to punt it away, and Alex Olander comes streaking around the corner. He gets a hand on it for the blocked punt. That would set up Milbrook with a short field. Bobby Fulmore would punch it in for the 1-yard score. Second quarter action now, and Mason Fortune fires this one over the middle where Henry Hutchins makes a nice snag for the first down. Couple of plays later, and it's Allerkin who gets redemption. This time he will not be denied, bouncing off tackles and into the end zone for the touchdown. Milbrook bounces back in a big way and wins this one 44-6. Over to Leesville Road, where they love playing football in the land of the free, but this is the home of the Pride. We pick things up in the second half, where the Pride already have a big lead. They're looking for more on this fourth down play. DeAndre Goldston finds a wide open Jaden Gary, who sheds a tackle and dives for the pylon. He's in for 6. Heritage looking for something positive on their first drive of the second half, but Xavier Lewis ain't having it. He absolutely clobbers the quarterback. The ball and his helmet go flying. Micah Purvis manages to pick it up, cuts back up the middle of the field, finds a hole, and he's heading towards pay dirt. It's a scoop and score for Leesville Road, who dominate 49-7. Brett Neese, Football Friday.
Function at the junction time. Tarboro on the road at Southwest Edgecombe. The Vikings set the tone early as junior running back Mason Satterfield runs right through the defense to grab the early 7-0 lead. But the Cougs are fighting as they followed up with this nice little touchdown run by senior fullback Dantavius Johnson. Look at that, 7-6 for the Vikings. Southwest Edgecombe now getting a big stop on defense. Johnson powers his way. What? It's a fumble? Refs say no, and the Cougs go into the half with a 12-7 lead after the failed 2-point conversion. But the Vikings win 35-20. All right, Nash County was the place to be if you wanted some great football, and WRL's Rick Armstrong was at 2 big-time games. Bragging rights on the line. Highlights next.
We'll be right back with more Football Friday.
Final. Your North Carolina Courage take on the racing Louisville FC. Go watch live Saturday at 12:30 at Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary. The winning team takes home $1 million. Get your tickets now.
Let WRL News help prepare you for the day ahead. We help set you up for success with the most up-to-the-minute breaking news. Weather every 10 minutes, every day, so you can plan like a pro.
The most watched morning news, WRAL Mornings.
Watch WRAL this Sunday for Attorneys on Call. Join host Drew Smith with attorneys Ben Whitley and Stacy Miller, talking about the link between chemical hair relaxers and female reproductive cancer. If you've been diagnosed with uterine, endometrial, or ovarian cancer after using chemical hair relaxers, watch Attorneys on Call. Sunday morning at 11 a.m. on WRAL. Sponsored by the Whitley Law Firm.
Hold on, I'm coming. You didn't tell me you were getting McDonald's.
Enjoy a toasty, fluffy, savory sausage McMuffin with egg for just $2.50, and add a super chill iced coffee any size for just $1.99.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Now through September 13th, you could join for just $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. With over 2,400.
Welcome back to Football Friday. We got more highlights coming up.
Oh, they're going to take my job. Welcome back. Nash County was the place to be tonight if you wanted some really good football and you had your pick of the litter. Bedingfield got their first win of the season last week and wanting to start a winning streak tonight, but they'd have to go through the undefeated Bulldogs of Nash Central. Just 24 minutes away, Southern Alamance took on Southern Nash. Both are some of the best teams in the state. Only one man can handle both of these. Running Rick Armstrong has a story.
The threat of stormy weather vanishes as the sun pops out with a 20-minute delay of game, but the hammer drops. Nash Central Bulldogs already deep in Bedingfield's turf as Javaris Jones picks up yardage. Then Winston Lee slides left, heaves it, finding Taekwon Jones for 6. And Braxton Sykes adds to the extra point, 7-zip. The Bears can't claw their way past the Bulldog defense. The Bulldogs take over. James Rogers dancing near the sideline, then out. Now, you won't find a better play of the day. A high lob to Taekwon Jones, almost blocked. Does he have it? Yes! Nash Central goes on to smother Bedingfield. Nash Central goes on to win 35-18. Now to the deep south of Nash County with Southern Nash Firebirds trailing South Alamance Patriots 22-15. The game was a grudge match. The Firebirds' Tyleek Mitchell scratches for a few more yards. Here Malachi Davis breaks loose for a nice gain. Here, Mitchell almost gets the score, but a penalty draws them back. Pick it up with 1:39 on the clock. Firebirds close to the end zone. Mitchell heads for the corner, but just short. Less than a minute left. Jake Cooper heaves it, but ouch! Bone-jarring collision, but Isaac Joyner gets up and walks away. The game ends. The Patriots on top, 22-15. Rick Armstrong, Football Friday.
252, where you at? Northern Nash taking on D.H. Conley. Off the bad snap. Look at this. Knight's kicker tries to do something with it and tries to kick it, doesn't do anything. Scooped and scored by Rashad Little, and they go up 6-3. And he's going to say, yeah, Mom, I'm on TV because of it. Knights would retake the lead up top. Elijah Pitt hooks up with Jaquil Arrington for the big-time gainer. Sets the corner and touchdown run. 9-6, Northern Nash right here. Conley would retake the lead before the half. Sam Strickland runs for the score all night, second half, as they roll 37-12. Michael Jordan's favorite game of the night, Cape Fear at Laney. Laney on the very first play from scrimmage. Colby Little has some time to size up his throw. A bomb to Hampton Roderick. He catches it in stride, and Roderick does it all himself, goes straight to the end zone. Cape Fear's turn now. They want a long score. It looks like they have a quarterback who can sling it as well. But first, cheerleaders have to cheer. Look at this. He's going to sling it all the way up. Laney defender eats the turf, and this is going to tie the game up at 7. Laney ends up winning this 28-21. It was the battle of Highway 701. Clinton takes on Whiteville on the road. Who would get the W? You'll find out next.
We'll be right back with more Football Friday!
Our college journey, we couldn't see the whole staircase. Some of us had no idea where we were going or what we were doing. But we all felt that something better was waiting for us, just at the top of that staircase. But whatever the reason, we kept pushing through, taking one step at a time. But here we are, finally, at the top of the staircase. And take time to be proud of just how far you've climbed. I, for one, will always treasure my time spent here at Wake Tech.
Meet Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo. Fargo makes banking faster and easier.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
Lets you pick up the tab, even if you forget your wallet.
I got this.
Fargo, send Kaz $145 with Zelle.
Smooth. Fargo puts important information at your fingertips.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries this month?
Hey, Dad, can the guy stay for dinner?
No.
Want to see everything Fargo can do? You can with Wells Fargo.
This is not a special effect. There's no green screen behind me. I really am on top of this truck. People always ask me, why do I do it? Show my clients that I'll be on top of the big trucking companies. I'm not afraid to take them on and fight for all the money that you may deserve. We recently got a client who was hurt by a big truck, $650,000. I'm attorney Brian Ritchie, and I'm on top of it.
Call 999-2222.
Hi, I'm Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Did you know when you buy a mattress from a retail store, it's being sold for the second time? The manufacturer marks it up, sells it to the retailer.
Welcome back. High School OT Live is where you can watch games live with Nick Stevens and TJ Thorpe, and you would have seen highlights from this game. Let's check it out. Salisbury High School with 2-hour bus ride to Roxborough, and they're taking on Person High. Dejan Hodge, shout out of a rocket right here, and he's helping Person get up early in the first. However, Salisbury is going to get the win, 31-6. Wallace Rosehill taking on Pender. Let's get straight to the action. Rosehill quarterback number 13, Reed Page, handoff to number 7, Irving Brown. He's going to run down the sideline. 2-point conversion was good. 8-0 early on. Wallace Rosehill wins 56-14. The Battle of Highway 701, Clinton taking on Wattville on the road. Wolfpack in rare position, down 20-0 at home at half. That's why they call it a comeback. Luke Odom to Amari Best, and he sets up a much-needed 26-yard game that sets up Jamal Falk, who takes the plunge into the end zone. 20-7 is how they're down, but Clinton still wins this one big, 47-14. Thank you guys for watching tonight. Remember to visit highschoolot.com throughout the week, and you can watch High School OT Live every Friday at 7 o'clock right there on the site. We'll be back next week for Football Friday, but before we go, we're going to leave you with some Friday night sights under the lights. Have a good night.